Hey, doll, is this guy boring you? Why don't you come and talk to me? I'm from a different planet.
Welcoming you back to yet another fun-filled, action-packed episode of Viva podcast, brought to you by the IWR and Revolucha, live on the World Wide Web, of course, from IWRWrestling.com. Last week, you saw the beginning of Revolucha 3's 10-man gauntlet, where the Southwest shooter himself, Anthony Rivera, was laying waste to the competition. He had just beaten Whiplash, but now, the sensational young star from Canada, Phil Atlas, is headed into the ring. He means business. Let's see what happens when these two young stallions meet up in the squared circle for the first time.
Very prestigious. This is the grandest stage in all of Michigan Independence, and shortly in all of the world, with the Revoluchadors and the IWR bringing you the hottest action. Phil Atlas now over the top rope, flipping on Anthony Rivera. He may have caught him looking here, Red.
Oh, powerful lariat. Phil Atlas here, this young Canadian upstart, definitely a hot commodity in the independent scene.
Drop kick now, unbelievable height on that drop kick. It's like he's got springs in his legs.
You notice Zach Gowen, for being a guy with a one-leg gimmick, is in there with two legs. What is up with that, Harvey?
And now you see Phil Atlas taking exception to Miss Natasha grabbing his leg. Of course, this providing a distraction, but it looks like it backfired as Miss Natasha smacked Rivera.
Well, Miss Natasha learned how to hit from the best of them, the guys in the threat, and Rivera just caught a taste of
this
what
could be it. This could be it again. Pardon me, Red. And we see Phil Atlas battling out of it. Boot to the midsection, and that forward swinging implant DDT. This has got to be it. And Anthony Rivera eliminated, Red. So much for your prediction.
Oh, Anthony Rivera. Well, he was clearly tired. He was in there firing it up, just eliminating everyone down the line until Phil Atlas came in. Fans, welcome back to Viva podcast, bringing you action live from the kickoff match from Revolucha 3, live from the Royal Oak Music Theater from IWR's Revolucha. You just saw Phil Atlas take out the Southwest shooter Anthony Rivera in the 10-man King of the Independence Gauntlet. Now the young man from Canada, shining brightly in the middle of the ring for all to see, has an opponent on the way to the ring, and who will it be? Let's find out by going back to the footage. Came in there fresh, for a little bit better cardiovascular conditioning right now. And, well, he got one up on Rivera. Let's see who's coming next. All right, it's Brad freaking Martin.
And here we see Brad freaking Martin, fellow Can-Am graduate of the Can-Am Wrestling School here with Phil Atlas. These two started down the roads together, but it's built quite a bit of contempt over the last year in the IWR. And here we see these two going at it, tooth for tooth, nail for nail. Big chop by Phil Atlas.
Well, I gotta say, Brad freaking Martin is a wrestler's wrestler, whereas Phil Atlas, I think, is more concerned with what the ladies are saying out in the crowd and making sure he's nice and oiled up.
Big Mexican arm drag.
Oh, right, Canadian arm drag, don't you think there, Harvey?
And another counter by Phil Atlas. And look at this reversal into an arm drag by Brad freaking Martin. This is impressive, Red.
This is tremendous Lucha Libre style wrestling coming from these guys, giving this definitely Lucha heavy, friendly crowd here at Revolucha 3 what they want in this opening contest.
Phil Atlas now shaking his right hand from another vicious chop. Irish whip is reversed by Brad freaking Martin. Looks like he's getting him up for a sidewalk slam, but reversed by Phil Atlas, going to the ropes. And a Hurricane Rana spinning has Brad freaking Martin reeling.
Yeah, it's got me reeling. I think I get dizzy just watching that, Harvey.
Boot to the midsection now, Phil Atlas. And a kick to the butt of the chin.
Isn't that illegal? That's got to be illegal. This is wrestling. This is not mixed martial arts. This is not a cage. This is a four squared circle, Harvey.
All's fair in love and wrestling in Lucha. And here you see Brad freaking Martin catching Phil Atlas.
What do you think you just told Phil Atlas there, Harvey?
Oh, and a whipping stunner. The second time we've seen a stunner maneuver in this matchup here. And a side belly-to-belly suplex. That's Phil Atlas might be out. And here we see, I think Brad Martin is wasting a bit of time here.
Making a rookie mistake here. He definitely should be going for the cover there. He's definitely got Atlas stunned, but giving him time to recover.
And Phil Atlas now being a little bit wary of where he's in ring positioning, grabs that bottom rope, Red.
Brad Martin, you can't be so worried about what the stinking crowd thinks at Revolucha. You got to be worried about your opponent. Phil Atlas is down the mat. You can't pin him right next to the ropes.
Oh, and a chin breaker followed by a flying enziguri. Look at this maneuver, Red. Incredible impact. And that's got to be it.
And
Phil Atlas continues on. Brad freaking Martin is eliminated.
Well, there you have it, folks. All of a sudden, it turns into a battle of the Canadians live from Revolucha 3. Phil Atlas coming out on top of his fellow countryman, Canadian superstar Brad Martin. Tune in next week to Viva the Podcast to find out who Phil Atlas faces next in this amazing 10-man King of the Independents gauntlet. The winner, of course, coming out the IWR King of the Indies title. Find out who won the match. Instead of waiting until next week, you can, of course, log on to IWRWrestling.com, the official home of Revolucha, where you can purchase all 3 amazing DVDs in the Revolucha series and find out the history and the upcoming news of this amazing, innovative company, the future of American wrestling, Revolucha. Fans, I'm your host, Red Davis, thanking you for joining us for another action-packed episode of Viva the Podcast. Be sure to tune in next week to IWRWrestling.com, right here for Viva la Podcast. Viva la Revolucha!